Welcome back, everyone. This is NYU Grad's Daily Podcast, recording after hours on Tuesday, October 24th. This could be a short one, but I just want to preface and say all the headlines across the board are saying that today was a bullish day, but I just want to let you know off the bat, I think it was more than meets the eye. How do I start this? Obviously, I'm going to go cover breadth. And really, to be honest with you, if I cover the breadth numbers and cover some of the after hours action, that's all I really need to cover. But let's go through it. Today, we had 43 highs and 545 new lows. So yeah, it was better than yesterday. It was better than Monday. I'll give it that. We didn't have 1,300 new lows, but we still are outpacing new highs 10 to 1 basically here, over 10 to 1. So that's not good. If I told you that, right, that we had 545 new lows and only 43 new highs, and I asked you to guess where the Dow and the NASDAQ and S&P closed, you probably would guess negative. Well, if you've watched the market and the news, you'll know that we closed up today. We closed up on the Dow 200 points, up 0.62%. On the NASDAQ, we closed up 121 points, up almost 1%. The S&P, we closed up 30 points, up 0.75% or 73%. So what the heck is going on? So I'll kind of go through play by play. We opened up strong and we sold off at 11 o'clock. I actually noted on Substack notes that it was rhyming with yesterday. And as we approached 42.80, we said, hey, and then we start selling off. I posted, so nice, they did it twice. And we started to sell off hard, and guess where we fell to? That's right, 42.40. I mentioned that number yesterday for Monday, potential close. There's a lot of volume at that price location, so it's like a magnet. So that's where we went midday, and we bounced hard off of that number and basically rallied. So that was the summary of the day. We rallied hard after right around 12:40-ish into the close. So it was kind of like a nice stick save. When I took a look at the Magnificent Seven, and I'll kind of cover after hours too, but it was a pretty broad rally. It wasn't just them. But Microsoft, this is before the close, was up 0.37%, not that big of a deal. Apple up 0.25%. Nvidia was up 1.6%. Google was up 1.6%. Amazon was up 1.5%. And Tesla was up 2%. Meta closed down 0.47% for the day during regular market hours. So in the after hours, Google kind of crapped the bed here, and they sold off pretty hard. So I mentioned Google, it closed up 1.61% at 138.81 cents. After earnings, we're now at 130, and we've sliced below the 50-day moving average. So right now, as it stands, the only two of the Magnificent Seven that's above the 50-day moving average is Microsoft and Meta. So that's not good either. So we have a ton of earnings to go. We've only seen 3 of the 7 reports so far. If Microsoft and Meta loses the 50-day and the other Magnificent 5 continue to sell off or just flounder here, my question is, who's going to hold up the market? Is it going to be WeWork, AMC, DraftKings? No, There's just not enough liquidity for some of these meme stocks. Is it going to be Bitcoin? Is everyone going to sell Magnificent Seven and buy Bitcoin? I don't think that's going to happen either. So I think the ice is getting much thinner every day. And despite the fact that we had a really positive day, Dow up 200, right? That's a really positive day. NASDAQ up 1% basically. The S&P up 0.75%. Not a bad day at all. But underneath all of the mega caps holding up the market, you still had 545 new lows. That is really not good. On the one-day performance level, all sectors were green except for energy. And what led to the upside were utilities, then communication services, then consumer cyclical, then real estate, and consumer defensive, then basic materials, and then technology. Okay? So it wasn't like it was a strong day for tech right now either. Let's take a look at, real quick, I'm pulling up a chart of SMH, the semiconductor index. SMH is up 1.16% today. It needs it. It may be trying to get back up to the 50-day moving average to backtest it. Watch that very closely because semiconductors like NVIDIA, Intel, AMD led the way on the way up. It will lead the way on the way down. JP Morgan, if you remember, on Monday was down. It was up today by 13 cents. Okay, and it's just sitting there at the 200-day moving average off the cliff. So that's something to watch very carefully. Financials, JP Morgan, Citi, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, they all look really, really bad. And then if I look at the KRE, which is the regional bank index, that was down 0.64% today. So all in all, things look very crappy, not really good. Let's see what happens on Wednesday when pre-market and when we open for Google, Meta, and Microsoft, and see what happens with the reactions there. Just looking at earnings real quick that are coming out on Wednesday to kind of watch out for as catalysts. In the morning, you have T-Mobile, ADP. In the afternoon, you have Meta, you have ServiceNow, IBM, and United Rentals, just naming a few. And you have some other big ones on Thursday. You have Amazon after the close, Intel after the close, Chipotle after the close. In the morning on Thursday, you have MasterCard, UPS. So a lot of important earnings are still coming out. I know that the Dow is up 200. I know the headlines say we had a good day, but the ice is getting thinner and thinner, folks. So watch yields, watch energy prices, oil, watch geopolitical risk, watch the Magnificent Seven. As I mentioned, only 2 of the 7 are above the 50-day. The 2 that start with M, Microsoft and Meta. So watch those 2 as well. All right, I'll see you guys after the Wednesday close. Have a good one.